All right, today we are heading across the pond, virtually, of course, to peek into the UK's creator economy. We're going to answer a question that I bet a lot of you who watch YouTubers from the UK have wondered about at some point.
You know how it is? You're watching your favorite British creator, and you think to yourself, how much are they actually making from this video? Is it about the same as a creator here in the States? Is it more? Is it less? Well, let's get into it.
So, here's the answer. It's somewhere between $2 and well over $10 for every 1,000 views. Yeah, that is a massive, massive range. So why isn't it just one simple number? That's the puzzle we're going to solve together today. To really understand that huge gap, we first have to get our heads around some of YouTube's own special lingo. It all boils down to a couple of key acronyms you probably heard thrown around.
It all starts with this term, RPM. That stands for revenue per mil, and mil is just a fancy Latin word for 1,000. This is the big one. It's the actual amount of money a creator gets to keep for every 1,000 views after YouTube takes its piece of the pie. This is the number that really hits their bank account.
So where's that money coming from? Well, think of it like this. For every dollar an advertiser pays to run an ad on a video, YouTube swoops in and takes 45 cents right off the top. The creator gets the other 55 cents. That 55% is what goes into calculating their RPM.
Okay, so now that we've got the basics down, we can finally dig into the two main reasons that RPM can swing from just a couple of bucks all the way past 10. It really comes down to two things: where your audience is watching from and what your video is actually about.
See, it all begins with what advertisers are willing to pay in the first place. And there's another acronym for that, CPM, or cost per mil. You can think of this as the initial bid in an auction. A high CPM from advertisers is what leads to a high RPM for the creator. So what makes advertisers want to pay more? First up, the audience's home turf. Viewers in the UK are considered what's called a Tier 1 audience. This is the same top category as audiences here in the US or in Canada and Australia. It basically means they tend to have more disposable income, which makes them a super valuable target for advertisers who will pay a lot more to reach them. And how much more are we talking? Well, a typical CPM for the UK market is often somewhere in this pretty impressive range, between $13 and $20. So even before YouTube takes its cut, advertisers are already putting a premium on that British audience. But having a valuable audience is only half the battle. The second crucial factor is the video's topic, its niche. And why does that matter so much? Well, a company that sells investment software has let's say, a wildly different ad budget than a company that's just trying to get you to download a mobile game. And the difference is, honestly, night and day. On one side, you have the really high-earning niches like finance, business, and tech reviews. These attract advertisers with seriously deep pockets. On the other side, you've got topics like gaming, vlogging, and comedy. Now, these channels can get millions of views, but the advertisers who bid on them just don't pay as much for each of those views. Okay, the theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually plays out. Let's cook up a couple of hypothetical creators and see what the real-world impact of these factors looks like. So, let's meet our creators. On the left, we've got FinTech Fiona. She makes fantastic videos about personal finance and investing for a UK audience. And on the right, we have Gamer Greg. He creates really popular gaming commentary videos. Now, to make this a really fair fight, let's set up a scenario. They both upload a new video on the same day, and both videos do equally well. They each get exactly 100,000 views. Same view count, same UK audience. The only real difference here is their niche. Okay, time to crunch the numbers. First, we have to remember that not every single view gets an ad, because of things like ad blockers or people skipping ads. So let's be conservative and say about half their views are monetized. For Fiona, in that high-value finance niche, she might have a really strong RPM of, say, $12. That turns her 50,000 monetized views into a nice $600. Now look at Greg. In the gaming niche, his RPM is way lower, probably closer to $4. Same number of monetized views, but he only walks away with $200. And there you have it. The result is pretty shocking when you see it side by side. For the exact same number of views, Fiona's payday is 3 times bigger than Greg's. And it's all because of her niche. This single example explains exactly why that range we saw at the beginning is so wide. So we've cracked the code on the lingo. We've seen the key factors in action, so what's the big takeaway here? What's the final verdict for those of us watching from the US and wondering about the UK creator scene? The bottom line is this.
A UK creator's potential to earn is right up there and highly competitive with creators in the US. While the US might still have a tiny edge on some rates, the UK is firmly in that top bracket, offering some of the best advertising rates on the entire planet.
So I'll leave you with this little bit of food for thought. Now that you understand the economics working behind the scenes, does it change how you value the content you choose to watch? It's definitely something to think about the next time you click on a video. Thanks for tuning in.